again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with the continuation of the Tesselated Forest Filet Blanket. And we are on row 16, so let's hop right into it. Thank you for joining me today. I'm all excited because this should be, I believe, the last part of this crochet along. So we're going to chain up 2 for our first double crochet. And to start with, we're going to need a total of 13 double crochets. So we've got 1, we need 12 more. And in fact, this is actually a repeat of row 13. So we're just going to mosey right along. So we've got 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so now we need our eyelet, our chain space. So chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. Now, if you remember from row 13, it's 11s and 19s. That's what we're going to be working with. So we're going to start with an 11. So this counts as 1, of course. We need 10 more. So we've got 2 and 3 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Shift your work as needs be. Okay, now we need another eyelet because, again, we've got our diagonals going on here. So chain 1, skip 1, and double. Okay, so we got the 11 down. Now we need a 19 stretch, which we shall do right now. So we already have the 1. We need 18 more. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Another eyelet, so chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next, and 10 more for our grouping of 11. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Perfect. Okay. Need another eyelet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. Now, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but my tummy is making some funky noises at the moment. I just had some pasta and I don't know. So if the noise is coming over the mic, I apologize. I'm sorry. All right, so we did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. All right, so now we need to do another series of 19. So we've got 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, scooting the work along once again. Pull out a little more yarn. And another eyelet, so chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. Now we've got another grouping of 11 because we're working on the tree, not the space in between. So we've got 1, I need 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep, okay. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. And so we started off with 13 doubles. We need to end with 13. So we already have our 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and last but not least, 13. That very last stitch right there. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so that is the end of row 16. Alrighty. All right, so row 17, we're going to be starting with a grouping of 15, then work into groupings of 7 and 23. So start off with chaining up of 2, turn your work, and so we need 14 more for the first grouping. So we already have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, come on, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next for our eyelet. Very important. Okay, so now we need 6 more for the grouping of 7. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And 7. Okay. Another eyelet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. Okay, so now we need a grouping of 23. And quite frankly, I think it's easier to just eyeball it. And I don't mean guess, I mean based on what we already have here. I mean, we've got our eyelets this way. Well, it's going to go the opposite way when we reach the other side. So let's do our 23 doubles. We already have the 1. So this will make 2. And I'm going to spare you the counting. Actually, today I was doing some last minute editing on the written pattern, really trying to make it as crystal clear as possible. And I sent it to one of my testers who took a look and said, yep, that works. Very, very happy, and I really do appreciate my testers very, very, very much, because it's one thing for me to think that the pattern is clear, but I get by with a little help from my friends, and I thank you guys. You guys are awesome sauce. All right, so we are almost to the other side. Okay, just a couple more to go. And in the space and in that stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. Now, I didn't count, no, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 1, 2, and 3. That's exactly what we needed. See, you can get to a certain point where you can sort of, like I said, eyeball it and see where it is that you need to be. And after a while, you can just look at your pre-existing work and, in essence, go on autopilot, sort of mindful autopilot. So right now we need a grouping of 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next. And then we need another grouping of 23. We got this. We got this. And I'm also going to take some photos tonight and add those onto the pattern as well. So there are some nice visual aids to go with the written bits. So that's coming along nicely, and I'm really happy with it. A lot of work, but I think it's worth it. Okie dokie. And of course, like I said, that written pattern, it will be available on my Etsy store. Link will be in the description box down below, along with the timestamps as per usual. Okay, and we are almost there already. It's a fabulous thing. Okay, 2 more. And chain 1, skip, and double. Okay, and of course, yes, I like to double count and make sure. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 23. Okay, so one more grouping of 7, because we're working on the actual substance of the tree. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1, skip a stitch, going into the next. And we began with 15, so we need to end with 15. So we've got 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and last but not least, our 15th stitch for the edge, and we are good to go. All right, so that is the end of row 17. Okay, row 18. We are getting there. We most certainly are. So chain up 2, turn the work, and we're going to start off with 17 because we still need these eyelets to keep going in the same direction. So we need 16 more. We are well past the complicated bits with multiple rows of eyelets, in quick succession. Right now, it's really just a matter of finishing off the top of our trees. So we can sort of enjoy ourselves for a bit here. And we are almost to the first eyelet. Just a couple more. And there we go. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. So it should be 17. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. I like it when things work out. It isn't often in our lives that we can say that, but we can say that when the stitch count is good, and it's oh so satisfying. All right, so we are just about at the apex of our treetops. So we need a total of, 3 doubles. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3, chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. And we've got groupings of 27 now. So it's going to be another one of those long stretches. So let's just double our way across until we reach our next eyelet. And again, we can sort of eyeball it. It's always, always, always good to double count and check your work. But we can get the general vicinity, no problem whatsoever. Just go, go, go. Okay, and I'm almost there. Couple more. So I did my chain 1, skip 1, and double. So, yep, let's count. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. Perfect. Okay, so do our 3 doubles. So we've got the 1 and 2 and 3, chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. And we need 26 more doubles for our total of 27. So let's get to it. Now this piece that I'm working on right now, honestly, I'm still undecided if I want to keep going with it and finish it into an actual piece, whether it's a wrap or maybe a baby blanket. I don't even know right now. I don't quite think I want to frog it, but I might. I don't know. I mean, I do really like it, but I don't know if I want to do another of these projects at the moment. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe a nice baby blanket. You know, create some sort of edging for it. I did not have any edging in mind for this particular blanket, to be quite frank. And I did not add one on the written pattern either because I felt that doing an edging, that's very much a personal preference. Usually I don't, but some of you might like to. So I did not add one to this initially. Okay, chain 1, skip 1, and double. Just do the double count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 27. Good. Yeah, I mean, if you are in the mind to doing a border, more power to you. If I were to do one, I might do a round of single crochets just to sort of solidify things, and then do maybe a round or 2 or 3 of front and back post double crochets to give it sort of a ribbed look on the edging. I don't know. I haven't really thought much about it. All right, so we did our 3 doubles, chain 1, skip a stitch, double into the next. And because we started with 17, we need to finish with 17. So let's do that. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. All right, so we're almost there. Let's keep going. All righty. Alrighty, so for those of you that are still following, congratulations, because this is the last row for composing the tree. Yes! So for row 19, we are going to start with 19 double crochets. So of course, going to start by chaining up 2, and then 18 more double crochets for the total of 19. And we've got some big numbers. Fortunately, they are easy. So after we do the 19, we're going to have our eyelet, and then it's going to be 31 double crochets. Now, this is a very, very easy row, and I will show you why, because we just need one eyelet for the tippy top of our trees. And again, it's one of those things where, yeah, you can essentially eyeball it. It's not a big deal. Counting is always recommended and beneficial, but it is not 100% necessary, and you'll see why in just a moment. So we've almost got our 19 double crochets finished here. Into the space with the double and another double. And this should be 19. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so smack dab right in the middle, in between these 2 eyelets, chain 1, skip 1, and double. So our eyelet is right in the middle. And now we need 30 more double crochets for a total of 31 double crochets until we reach the next eyelet. And that is how we're going to do the rest of this row, row 19. Now, the beauty of this pattern is that the repeat for this pattern is, quite frankly, repeating rows 2 through 19 for as many trees you want as far as the length or the height of your blanket. So you can go crazy. For my blanket, like I said, I did 6 full repeats for 6 trees high, 5 trees wide. Now, after you are done, as far as the number of trees, you then want to finish up your piece by adding just a few more repeated rows, which I will show you. I'm not going to actually show you on camera because it's just a repeat of some of the rows that we've done previously, and I think that that would be a bit redundant. So we're going to finish up this row together, and then I will show you what I mean. So almost there with my 31 stitches. So we're going to add the eyelet in just a moment. Okay, into the space, into that first double there, chain 1, skip a stitch going into the next. There you go. Got our eyelet nice and centered. And we've got to do one more. See, I told you this row flies by. Really, really, really simple. So let's do 30 more for a total of 31. Yeah, unlike the Tesselated Hearts pattern that I did previously, the trees are in alignment with each other vertically. They aren't constantly shifting. So instead of like I think it's like a 40 row repeat, this is just a rows 2 through 19 repeat. So it's really not that bad. And of course, you can look at your pre-existing work to see what the next row is going to entail. Or of course, you could follow along with me, or you could always check out the pattern, or what have you. There are options. I always like to give you guys options, if and whenever possible. Okay, and we are approaching the next eyelet. Okay, just a couple more. There we go. And into the chain space and into that first double. Chain 1, skip 1, and double. All right, so that's the last eyelet that I need to do. Now, because we started with 19 doubles, we need to, of course, finish with 19 doubles. So I've got one already. I just need 18 more. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and one more. Just one more. There we go. And 19. Woohoo! Alrighty. All right, so we just finished row 19. Now here's the thing. In order to finish off your blanket, I mean, like I said, you would repeat rows 2 through 19 as many times as you want to, however many trees tall you want. But when you are done with the last repetition of trees, you still need to finish up the tree in between so that it makes sense, because this guy, he has no tree trunk, right? So in order to do that, you would repeat rows 2, 3, and 4 so that there will be a trunk for the tree up here. Okay. Then, to really polish it off and finish it up, you would then add a solid row, just like we started with, a solid row of double crochets, and that way it'll have a nice and symmetric look on either side of the blanket. So there's really no right side or wrong side, up, down, what have you. So what I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm going to repeat rows 2, 3, and 4. Let me go on the side here. So it's 2, 3, and 4, and then do a solid row like we started with. I'm going to do that off camera and show you how it looks, as if you were finishing it after you do X number of repeats of rows 2 through 19. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to do that off camera now, and I will meet back up with you to show you what it'll look like in its, finished edge state. Okay, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so as I said, I repeated rows 2, 3, and 4 up at the top, and I think it gives it a nice finished look because our trees on the side are nice and finished. They have their own trunk, and the ones in between also are finished off, and there you have it. So, like I said, all you have to do is just keep repeating after your initial tree. Repeat rows 2 through 19, then to finish up that top edge, repeat rows 2, 3, and 4, give a solid row at the top, and boom, you're done. Because if you flip it the other way, it looks just about the same. Not completely though, because, quick note, we started with 1, 2, and 3 trees, right? Well, on the other side, if you turn it upside down, we have, see, half trees on the side here, and we only have 2 finished trees in the middle. So it really depends on what you are going for. At any rate, thank you so very much for joining me. I really had fun doing this. And if you liked it, please give a little thumbs up button down below. You know I appreciate your appreciation as always. And hit subscribe for more, because I'm always coming up with new things, whether it's crocheting or knitting or audiobook narration or origami even. And of course, my other YouTube channel, Fiber Spider Games, where I do video game playthrough and commentary. It's in the description box down below, as well as a link to this pattern that you can get a PDF file on Etsy. And listen, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. But you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, and have a great day.